Good morning, quilt people and seekers of the world. How are you? I'm doing really great. I am happy to be back with my new awesome tank top. Yay! Sometimes it pays to advertise. Sometimes you don't need to. Anyhow, okay, focus. Back to the topic. Can you see perfection? This is a really big one because it's through this lesson that we access possibility. I don't know how else to language it, but it's in can you see perfection? Can you see the perfection of the world? Can you see the perfection of our evolution as humankind? Can you see perfection in what is? Because what is God's plan, right? Everything that's going on is intentional. And where we really fall down is that we look at God's plan, at his evolution of humankind, and we're like, yeah, no, that's not right. Right? And we think that we know better than God, which ultimately separates us from God. The number one enemy in the work will always be illusion. That which is not is illusion. That which is made up is illusion. That which is fantasy is illusion. That which is not happening now is illusion. So if illusion is the enemy, then what are we left to deal with? Literally, only the present moment. And anything that's not happening in the present moment, the ego will language as story. Story is where the ego lives. And story is the way that we try and build up thought constructs to, determine as real, as reality that we then hand to somebody else as our idea or construct, right? That we want to give to others for them to hold on as real as well. The problem with that is everybody's dealing in fantasy. Thought constructs are made up. Fantasy. And the only thing that you need in order to kill a thought construct is the minds that are believing in it to stop believing in it, or stop speaking about it, or engaging with it in any way. That's not real. That's not reality, right? You can't hold onto fantasy of an idea and call it reality and expect to experience God. Because those thought constructs that we're making up are free will. That's not God's will. That's our will. And that's why everybody's running around like so mad at God, right? And they're like, oh, really? Like God can't do better than this? Well, that's not God that you're criticizing. That's man. So story. Story is where the ego lives. And we all deal in story, right? Like he said this, she said that, I can't believe whatever, so and so. And what we're doing is we're languaging everything other than the present moment, right? And that's where we fall down. We look at story and illusion as reality, and we want to attach ourselves to it and get involved with it, even though it is nothing but falsehood, illusion, lies, not real, like all of this stuff that like there's no there. It's just, free will of our minds run amok, and then we all attach to it as something that's in our environment. Thought constructs aren't in our environment, are they? Thought constructs only live here. And if we identify what is illusion, then we have to look at life beyond illusion. It's so interesting when you stop participating in illusion, and when you see a bunch of people talking about things that are identified to your mind as illusion. The crazy starts to really become, real, and you start to really see people who are participating in story and illusion and who are driving themselves crazy and insane with something that is not real, with something that is not current or present to the moment. So life beyond illusion, life beyond lies, life beyond the crazy, life beyond that which most people deal in. When you turn on the news, what are they talking about? Are they talking about something that's current, relevant, or are they talking about thought, construct, story, and illusion? We can participate there, we can learn there, we can hang out there, but we also need to recognize what we're dealing in. Illusion and story are not real. Illusion and story are just free will that somebody is talking about and whatever else that they're making up that is a footprint of energy into our environment. Yes, that is real, right? The footprint of the illusion is real, but the illusion itself is not. Does that make any sense, right? And it's why I've been so lucky to be part of a lot of shamanic groups that will go through and clean up their lineage, right? Because the energetic garbage that we create and produce and then die and leave behind on this plane, at some point somebody needs to address. At some point there needs to be an ancestor who comes along and goes down the lineage and cleans up all that energy, right? How much toxic energy have you left on this plane? If you died today, what would your energy footprint be on Earth? Would you be leaving energetic garbage for other people to deal with and clean up? Or would you leave this plane clean, free of garbage, free of illusion, free of story? So one thing I'm really dealing with in the language, Journey of a Light Shaman, which I'm starting to right now. So the first, trilogy that I did was Journey of a Dark Shaman, right? And I did Journey of a Dark Shaman Book 1, Foreign to Me, Journey of a Dark Shaman Book 2, Broken Like Me, and then Made of Me isn't out yet, but it will be by the end of the year. Anyhow, I'm now writing Journey of a Light Shaman, which is the companion trilogy to Journey of a Dark Shaman. And it's really a dissection of energy work, and especially since it's contrasted to the first trilogy, which is told by a person with kind of naturally dark energy, not evil. Big difference, not evil. There's a big difference between dark energy and evil, right? People who naturally have a dark or wounded energy are not evil. Know the difference. And so it's really an exploration of those people who are, from childhood, naturally wounded and pained. That's dark energy. Dark energy is sad, not evil. And so through that exploration, I really show if somebody is naturally wired to be dark, and we know that, I even have so much of that within myself just because of, my past trauma and, things that I've had to, get over, right? And it's not that people with naturally dark energy need to be fixed. There's nothing wrong with them. That's just who they are and how they resonate in the world, right? Those little black clouds. The Eeyore, right? The Eeyore character of the Winnie the Pooh, right? He has naturally dark energy. But Eeyore isn't evil, is he? He's sad. He's pained. That's dark energy. So, if we're trying to get beyond story and illusion, I can get you there in 4 steps. Step number 1. Do you believe that there is an intelligence behind all of this? Behind creation? Is there an intelligence to the math that you see in plant life? Is that intelligence, or is it just chance? So step number 1, is there intelligence behind the creation of the universe? I think there is. Step 2, is that intelligence of the universe benevolent, or is it punishing? Do you think that there is a loving God, Or do you think that there is a punishing God? I personally believe that the intelligence of the universe is benevolent in all things. So step number one is there an intelligence to the universe? And step number two is that intelligence benevolent? If you can answer those two things as yes, then step 3 and step 4 are a fait accompli. Step 3 being, is your life guided by a benevolent intelligence of the universe? And are you protected by the benevolence of the universe? Is there an intelligence of the universe? Yes. Is that intelligence benevolent? Yes. So then, are you guided by that benevolence? Yes. Are you protected by that benevolence? Yes. That's all you need to get there. Know that you are divinely guided. Know that you are divinely protected. And all you have to do is recognize what that is and then accept what that is. Because if all of that is true, you have no reason to be fearful. Everything that's happening around us is perfect. Can you see it? Everything that is happening on planet Earth is perfection, despite whether you agree with that or not. Why? Because it is God's plan. It is literally God's evolution of man, and we do not get to hold a judgment on that ever. It's perfect. And it's right on time. Whether you're on board with that concept or not, but I will tell you this, not being on board with that concept will result in massive pain, right? If you're sitting and going, yeah, no, this isn't right. None of this is right. None of this is right that's going on in here. I am alone in this, and I have to fix it. How terrifying is that? To feel like you are alone, not guided, not protected, and just feeling cut off from God because you're judging God's plan and his handiwork. There can be no joy there, standing in judgment of God. Right? That's not our job. Our only job is to recognize who we are, recognize where we are, and then provide gratitude for that and direct our lives forward through our will. What is your will? Where are you going? Are you even looking forward in the direction that you're driving? Or are you trying to drive the car looking in the rearview mirror and then wondering why things aren't going so great? Right? Again, this channel will always be dedicated to becoming master and commander of you. And that's how you get there. You start to work in conjunction with the intelligence of the universe. You don't fight it. You work yourself in conjunction with the intelligence of the universe. Right? And we accept, right, our place in working in conjunction with spirit. That's how you get there, right? And that's how you light yourself up 24/7. Right? What we're doing in here is ultimately what? Chasing evolution of self, chasing, the vortex, chasing spiritual disco, right? Trying to find enlightenment. Because there are real steps that you can take to get you there. And guess what? You only need one guide, and that's you. That's your honesty. That's your creativity. That is you listening to you because you have that voice within you. Is there an intelligence in the universe? Yes. Is that intelligence benevolent? Yes. Is that benevolence guiding and protecting you? Yes and yes. So relax. Let yourself be divinely guided and divinely protected. There's nothing to do beyond that other than to be. And that's where we, especially in the Western world, get off, is that we feel like we're put here on earth to accomplish something, to achieve something, to learn something, to have some kind of hoop to jump through. No, there's no hoop. There's no lesson. There's no like a set of checklists that you have to do in order. No. That is all crazy. We're only asked to do one thing. Resonate with love. Love and understanding. And bring that love and understanding to any situation where it currently does not exist. Can you see the perfection? Because it all starts there. Because if you're not seeing the perfection in God's plan, you don't see God, right? And holding a judgment on God's plan is where we separate ourselves from that spirit. Relax. Breathe. See the perfection, right? Nobody else is seeing the perfection. You're certainly not turning on the news and seeing like the newscasters talking about the perfection of God's plan. Right? But then we go to churches who are talking about the perfection of God's plan. Oh, and by the way, it's delivered with a whole bunch of judgment on God's plan. Like, that doesn't work either, right? It's up to you. There's only one person who can save your soul and get you out of fear and complaint. And that's you. That's a you thing. Can you see the perfection in everything that's going on around you? Start there. And once you can relieve yourself from your own judgment, right? Relieve yourself from your own judgment, that's when you can step into being one with God's plan, because you're not fighting God's plan. It's all perfect, and it's all right on time, and you are divinely guided in your life, and you are divinely protected on your path. Accept that is true, and lean into that. All right? That's where we are today. I hope that was helpful, and I will see you next time. All right, bye.